Morning, y'all. I'm sitting here smoking my father's old Oom Paul. Which I always thought was a mint billiard. And about a year or so back, I learned that it's an Oom Paul. I learned the history of it. Anyways, this isn't really the reason for the video. I caught Tucker Carlson's interview late last night. I was up till about 1 o'clock watching it. Good interview. I was quite impressed. Putin apparently is a hell of a historian. I knew a lot of the history. I didn't know quite in detail, but I knew a lot of the history, and he was right on it. And that's one of the big things he's using for the hares and whys. Anyways, all that aside, let me tell you his story. This one's true. Back, like this. A while back in 2015, I decided to go on vacation. And when I decided where I was going for vacation, all my buddies at work said, "Why are you going there? Why don't you go to Paris, go to France, go to Italy, go to England, go to Germany?" So would you go there? They said, "Yeah." Well, that's the first reason why I won't. Someone else said, "That country doesn't even have a McDonald's." That's another good reason to go. Where I went was Belarus. And I went in November, December for a couple weeks. That was the first time. And unfortunately, McDonald's beat me by 5 days. They opened the McDonald's up 5 days before my flight landed in Minsk. But I found the people really nice. I love the country. It's a beautiful country. It's flat. It's got what they call bogs. We call swamps. I was very impressed. So I went back that following August for a month. And before you ask, was there a woman involved? Come on. Of course there was. I stayed in the region of Lida, just outside of the city of Lida, in a village called Potsdam. I got to tell you, they got a vodka there. I don't read Cyrillic, so I don't know the name of it. But I did keep the label on it when I brought it home. Brought the label home. Vodka is very impressive, and like I said, I'm not a vodka drinker, but I can tell you what, and I did not get a hangover from it, and we drank a lot. Best beer I ever had in my life. Lita beer. Didn't really seem to matter which one, whether they're stouts, they're oatmeal stouts. Anyways, I digress. It was during that summer, and in the garage of my girlfriend's house, girlfriend at the time, there was an old Minsk 26-inch bicycle. Seems like 40, 50 years old. Is her dad's or mother's from the 60s or 70s or something. Anyways, so I kind of tinkered with it, fixed it up a little bit, got it riding. I went for a ride. I went about, I would say 5 kilometers. Basically, to me, it's like 5 miles. I don't know kilometers. I'm American. I don't understand metric system. So we'll say 5 kilometers. So I go out about 5 kilometers, 5 miles, whatever. And I'm riding through another village. Now the dirt roads in the village I was staying at, and the village roads tend to be dirt roads. They tend to have potholes and all the rest of the stuff. It's just, door up locks at you. Yeah, I understand that. So I'm riding along, and I see the whitest goat. Yeah, I said goat. The whitest goat in the darkest, greenest grass I'd ever seen in my life. It was absolutely gorgeous, artistic. And I learned early on, you don't worry about a camera. You start taking pictures. You kind of get some kind of permission. So I look around. There's some guys down the way. I go, I holler, I'm going, Izvinizia. Pull my phone, go, point at the goat. I said, da. So I take a picture, and they walk up to me. They start, Izvinizia, Madagana, Chut Panimay Ruski. Excuse me, I'm an American. I speak very little Russian. Madagana, da. I started hollering at the house. He strikes up a conversation with me. Between my broken Russian and his broken English, we had a broken conversation. Pretty good. His wife comes out with a silver bladder, kidney-shaped bottle, and 2 shot glasses full of a clear liquid. Now, I'll give you a heads up. You ever find yourself in a Slavic, Russian country or society or house, and someone comes out with a bottle like that and a couple of shot glasses and pours your drink? I don't care what the number is on your chip. You throw it back. Otherwise, massive insult. Anyways, so Strovia, we did it a few times. Next time I'm getting dragged inside the house. Oh, and by the way, my bike, one of the other reasons I stopped is my chain kept popping off. I kept having a problem with the chain. It was pissing me off. So we go inside. He sat down at this table, and his wife had laid out this big meal of latkes and pierogies and all kinds of meats and different dishes and stuff like that. I'm brought in and sat down. Okay, and everyone else comes and sits down. And we keep hitting that bottle. And at some point during this, we emptied that bottle out. And the second bottle came out full of cherries in that same vodka that apparently this feller was making in the back of his barn illegally because of hooch. This guy's a farmer. So all the eggs were coming from goose eggs, everything grown, everything produced. You know, the pork came from, the sausage that came from pigs that they had back there. Just, it was 100% homegrown, including the booze. And the cherries in there from the cherry trees. So they're sitting and eating. At some point in time, he pulls out a sword. I'm thinking, oh shit, okay, here I go, I'm gonna die. Sword, it's called a shashka. This particular shashka belonged to his grandfather, who was a Cossack in the White Army fighting the communists during the Revolution. And he's very proud of that. Now, I can understand that. This sounds like something I'd do. Yeah, I'd pull out my great-grandfathers or whatever, you know. So finally, I'm sitting there and I go, excuse me, what is this? Why have you dragged me in here? Why this big meal? Why all this for a stranger, for the American stranger? The guy looked at me and said, you and I, same age. So, da. You grew up during Cold War. I grew up during Cold War. Da. So you and I enemies. As far as the way we grew up, yeah, da. Because now my enemy sits at my table as my friend. That was freaking cool. To this day, that brings a warmth up in me. And that's the warmth of the people. And he made a great point. You know? This was an Orthodox, Russian Orthodox farm family, Belarus family. In fact, they spoke Belarusian, along with Russian. They teach in schools. Belarus never even really been its own country until the fall of the Soviet Union. They'd always belonged to Russia, or they belonged to Poland, or they belonged to Lithuania or Latvia, and just kept going back and forth. They were kind of a ping pong. In fact, that's the region that Miss Jill, my late wife's family, her Jewish family, originated from. They came from that area. She didn't know it was Belarus, but the description she gave me of they learned through the family kept bouncing back and forth, and I've reckoned that they were quite possibly from either Lida or Brest. Yeah, Brest, boobs. Anyway, so we had done this meal. They had to help pick me up because I was stuffed. I was drunk. I was about ready to explode. They helped me walk out. That whole time we're eating and doing all this, his oldest son's out there fixing the chain on the bike. Got that fixed up. So they get me on the bike. They get me pushing down the road, and off I go, and I'm like this. I made my way all the way back to the girlfriend's house. I went in, told her this whole story. I was still stuffed and drunk and all this. She really? She says, interesting. We eat in 20 minutes. I don't sleep with drunks. So anyways, that's my story for this time around. One of my adventures to a country that at the time just got the first McDonald's, did not have a U.S. consulate, so if I got in trouble, I was pretty well screwed. I did one thing that apparently a lot of Americans and a lot of Brits don't do. When you go to someone else's country, that country's their house. You're a guest in that house. Keep your manners. Don't show your ass. Be polite. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Say, I didn't know. And immediately apologize afterwards. But if you treat people in this manner, you'd really be surprised at the kindness you'll be shown. So, all right, y'all. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.